I've been playing a lot of Ark Survival Evolved recently. And to be honest, I still don't know too much about the dinos. But what if everything that I thought I knew was a lie? Well, today, we're gonna find out.
You might have heard that all dinosaurs were wiped out 65 million years ago when a 15-kilometer wide asteroid crashed into Earth and caused
If this guy's about to tell me that there are still some dinos out there lingering, I'm gonna freak out.
a mass extinction event. But that is entirely false.
What?
One species of dinosaur, theropods, managed to survive.
What? Sorry for yelling. But actually, what are we talking? Are they still like what?
It's been a witness.
Nah, they're not still alive now, right? Something killed them. Please tell me that that thing's not still alive.
They had feathers and hollow bones, and most of them could fly, meaning they could rise above the blast and survive the aftermath. And now, many scientists believe that these theropod dinosaurs managed to evolve into birds. So, technically, dinosaurs are still alive and with us today. But that's not the only thing you were lied to about dinosaurs. From non-existent species to T-Rex's eyesight, there are many myths and misconceptions about the Mesozoic era.
Holy smokes, bro. Was I the only one that thought that the asteroid killed everything? Like everything? Maybe not like crocodiles, or maybe like snails. Because I thought it destroyed like all the plants because there was no more sun because all the dust. So all the plants died, which means all like the bugs and all them died, which means all the birds died. That's what I thought. That's what I was told. A minute into this video and my mind is already blown.
The craziest is that dinosaurs were all green, scary monsters. In fact, many of them likely had feathers. Theropods would have had feathers for a variety of reasons, from giving them warmth to helping some aviation-based dinos to fly. And that's not all. Dinosaurs were a variety of colors. Yeah, some fossils have preserved pigments, showing that not all dinosaurs were brown, black, or green. They may have had many vibrant colors. Some of them may even have had specific camouflage, depending on their environment. And they weren't all scaly and slimy either. Different dino species
that's actually kind of cute.
To their
Does make me think actually today, like animals are generally very cute. Even like the scary ones, like a lion for example, or a bear. Even though they are very dangerous, they're still kind of adorable. Like why would that be different millions of years ago? Like sure, a T-Rex might be very dangerous, but maybe it was low-key adorable too.
Now, when you think of dinosaurs, you probably think that they were all massive. The T-Rex had a length of 12 meters, and the long-necked Brachiosaurus was up to 13 meters tall. But that wasn't the case for all dinosaurs. Contrary to popular belief, not all dinosaurs were giants. In fact, many of them were pretty small. Some were even the size of birds that we have today. Haha, look at that one.
That one's pretty cute.
One small dinosaur was the Microraptor.
He's got an afro. Okay, I mean, that one I didn't technically know, but I feel like that one's not too crazy. Like, yeah, there were some small dinos out there. Just like other small animals. Like, there's squirrels, there's rats, there's a bunch of little small animals out there, so that's not too much of a surprise.
They're typically portrayed as slow-moving, cold-blooded reptiles, but this isn't totally accurate. Scientists have recently discovered that dinosaurs weren't all cold-blooded like we thought. But that doesn't mean that they were all warm-blooded. It's a bit more complicated. Dinosaurs may have had a metabolic system known as mesothermic. This means they were somewhere between cold and warm-blooded. Being mesothermic allows animals to generate some internal heat, just not as much as a warm-blooded animal would. Dinosaurs with feathers may have been warm-blooded. Feathers usually suggest warm-blooded. Now, of course, there were thousands of species of dinosaurs, so sure, many of them may have been cold-blooded, but there were also warm-blooded and mesothermic dinosaurs. The Brontosaurus.
I've never even heard of that before. I thought you either had to be cold-blooded or warm-blooded. Doesn't matter if a giant asteroid comes and clobbers the world. You could have gold for blood and you're dead.
Movies like Jurassic Park often show the Tyrannosaurus Rex as one of the most deadly predators, destroying everything in its path. The only catch? They can only see prey if it moves. Yeah, that's also completely
Yeah,
false.
how silly is that?
To make the T-Rex even more terrifying, they had incredible vision and were easily able to see prey that stood still.
See, like, that is one of the things where I'm like, how could you possibly know that? I feel like something could come out 5-10 years from now that disproves that entirely.
Since the T-Rex's eyes were positioned forward on its head, it had binocular vision. It could easily judge distances and see objects in 3 dimensions, similar to how humans see. Research suggests that the T-Rex might have had better eyesight than modern-day birds because it had such large optic nerves.
Okay, the optic nerves part, fair enough. But I've had many dogs, and I've played with many dogs in my life. Some of those things are like blind, bro, I swear. You could do this, you could go, hoobala, hoobala, woobala. They don't see you because it's a dog. They got tiny pinball brains, but they have 2 eyes in the front of their face, and they can't see that well. And that's how a lot of animals are. And I'm not saying that T-Rexes for sure can't see well, but I'm also like, how do you know 100 million trillion % that this thing had better eyes than birds today? And you're telling me that's better vision than an eagle? I don't know about all that, but I'll keep it in mind. You know, I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just hesitant to agree with everything that I see. That's all.
It's easy to forget, but dinosaurs didn't all live simultaneously. The Mesozoic era, also known as the Age of Dinosaurs, spanned over 180 million years. There were 3 distinct periods: Triassic, Jurassic, and Cretaceous. And within these 3 periods, different species were unique to the specific era.
Okay, I feel like a big fat emphasis on the big and fat idiot. Not too much emphasis on the idiot though. Didn't know that. I knew that there were different like eras, I guess, but I didn't realize like there was completely, entirely new, unique groups of dinosaurs in each. Like I've heard of like the Mesozoic era and like the Jurassic era, whatever, and the hoobly blobbly. But I thought it was just like, I don't know, different times. I didn't necessarily know that it meant entirely different dinosaurs. That's what I'm trying to say.
Within 180 million years, some dinosaurs evolved into new forms, and some species...
Oh my god! Hello.
Some of the most iconic dinosaurs, like the Stegosaurus and T-Rex, never actually coexisted. They lived...
What? The Stego and the T-Rex never coexisted? Okay, now my whole life is a lie. I swear to God, my whole life is a lie. Bro, I love this video, don't get me wrong. I love this video, but I also hate this video because it's like, I feel like, is the sky even blue? Is the sky even blue anymore?
in entirely different time periods, tens of millions of years apart. Also, the T-Rex is often shown as a Godzilla-like creature that can stand upright, but
It had feathers.
how accurate is this?
I know this one.
Well, turns out it's a total misconception.
It had feathers.
Based on early artists' renderings. Paleontologists have since found that the T-Rex had a more horizontal posture. Its tail was held up off the ground, and its body was balanced over the hips. The upright stance of the T-Rex that we typically see is fun for Hollywood, but it would be unstable and impractical for the dinosaur to move around freely.
Wouldn't he have a lot of lumbar problems? Like lower back pain? This is how you walk all the time. You know, like that would hurt my back after a while. And on top of that, how fast can you even be like this? Like you can't run that fast this way. How fast were T-Rex? Were they fast? No way they were that fast. They got like a hunchback.
Move around freely. When fossils are dug up, the shrink wrap method is often used to portray how the dinosaurs looked. This is where the skin and features are drawn tightly against the skeleton. The technique has led to some iconic dinosaur portrayals, but is incredibly inaccurate when it
What does he mean? Like, is he about to say that they had loose skin and that their skin was falling off their body? I'm scared for what this dude's about to say now.
comes to how these dinosaurs actually looked. The problem is that it doesn't account for any muscles, fat, or any other soft tissues that the dinosaur had.
I see, okay.
Luckily, this method is considered outdated. Paleontologists now account for the muscles and the fat that the dinosaurs were likely packing on. They make comparisons with modern animals to find where muscle would typically be attached to the bone. This has led to a more realistic appearance for the dinosaurs.
So they're even bigger than what they originally thought, really. Because I think what he's saying is like, they just wrapped the skin around the bones of the skeletons that they had and didn't account for muscle and fat. But today, like, take Chris Bumstead, for example. Big boy. If you only look at his skeletal structure, he would be way skinnier. He would literally be skin and bones.
Paleontologists have identified over 1,000 different species of dinosaurs, but there are tons more left to discover. Literally.
Is that a Carno?
Numbers vary, but some research suggests we've only found about 30% of dinosaur species.
Give me a hug!
And some we may never find.
Bring it
due to
in!
Gaps in the fossil record. Depending on where a species lived, they may have never been fossilized due to their environment. But many more will be discovered. On average, paleontologists discover about 50 new dinosaur species every year.
Oh my god! 50 a year? That's crazy! And that also kind of goes back to my old point, which is like, we still don't know jank squat about dinosaurs. First of all, I'm sure a lot of the dinosaurs, probably like 95% of them, didn't even fossilize to the point where we will ever even be able to find them at all. Which means that we will never know many of the different species that there were, leaving out a ridiculous amount of information that we will ever know about dinosaurs. So like everything that we know today is probably realistically only like 0.5% of all of the info that was of the things that actually happened back then. And we'll never get to know all of those other things.
Dinosaurs probably didn't sound anything like this. In fact,
more of
we have no idea what they sounded like. Fossilization rarely preserves the soft tissues like vocal cords, and that makes it challenging for paleontologists to determine the exact sounds dinosaurs made.
Okay, that dino died in a very zesty way. Not to like make fun of you, because like, you know, you're dead and everything, and it's not cool to make fun of the dead, but that's a crazy way to die.
Sounds dinosaurs made, but it's unlikely they made these massive roars. Scientists can make an educated guess that dinos sounded closer to birds and crocodiles since they're the closest living relatives of dinosaurs. Researchers have created models based on fossilized skulls. The models suggest that the dinosaurs may have made low-frequency rumbles or bird-like calls.
Sounds like he's laughing.
Regardless of what they sounded like exactly, the scientific community agrees that they didn't sound like this.
What if they could just like talk, like they had their own language? What's up, Pat? What's up, Chow? How you doing today? Good, I think I'm gonna go out on a little hunting mission. Think I'm gonna hunt some parasaurs. I'm feeling parasaur for lunch, what do you think?
So, is it possible that one day we'll be able to clone dinosaur DNA and build our very own Jurassic Park? Well, as cool as that may be, it's never gonna happen.
I don't know,
Since
bro.
DNA degrades over time, the chance of finding intact dino DNA is, well, basically zero.
This guy's probably right in that we will likely never be able to revive dinosaurs. But apparently, we have been able to revive dire wolves and are close to mammoths. So I wouldn't put it entirely past us to eventually be able to bring back dinos. I learned a lot today, that I've been lied to a lot in my life. But I had fun. And if you guys had fun too, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and click on this video right here to watch another awesome one.